It's Always Sunny in Lucadelphia.
All right, Joe, go for it.
Well, do you remember back to the year 2000?
In the year 2000.
2000.
That's true, yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So in the year 2000, which was a great year, a fantastic year, one of the best years.
All right, Trump.
It was a tremendous year.
Tremendous year.
Huge year.
You ever hear of a year called 2000, folks?
Huge.
Big
huge
year.
And in fact, it was a huge year for photographs for photography. In fact, there were about 80 billion photos taken worldwide in the year 2000.
Whoa.
Having said that,
On digital cameras?
total.
Total.
There were 80.
How do they count that?
It's a rough estimate of, who.
They take a sample size of 10,000 and then extrapolate to
Yeah, the
population.
Kodak Analysis Institute, the Chi, is on that. So that was in 2000. There were 80 billion photos taken. This year, it's estimated that the total photos taken between all types of photos, but mostly digital now, will be not 80 billion, not 100 billion, not 500 billion, not a trillion, but 1.3 trillion photos worldwide.
In what year?
In 2017.
That's the estimate.
That's the estimate for this
How many
year.
more people exist in 2017 than 2000?
Probably at least a billion.
Now, I have a question about the game, too.
Maybe.
Like, if I ask you a follow-up question,
You can ask me questions.
is this, all lies? Or, are you going to tell the truth, about the follow-up question?
Oh, I'll tell the truth. I might just be wrong.
I know that. Okay, but you're giving me
Wait,
your,
no.
your
That means
honest
he's
answer.
making it up.
Wait, Johnny's sniffing out my...
See,
that's
Luke, the way he said
that's
that,
a signal for you
Genie
to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right? On purpose.
he might be wrong.
like
he goes,
like the
he
guy
goes,
who
yeah,
plays
it should
for-
be
for
around there.
Earth.
He has no idea because
I'm like the guy who doesn't know his cards.
Well, I've heard about this bar
Yeah.
at Burning Man where they always lie, and that's like a shtick. And so you get there and you get a drink, you sit down at the bar and you start talking to the bartender, and they start telling you this story about who they are, their background, how they got to going to Burning Man and whatever. And then at some point it's such a ridiculous story that you're like, wait a second, this is the lying bar, and they break character. They're like, yeah, you got me.
So
I was making that up. My real name's Steve.
It's just the
blah
dick
blah
bar?
blah. And they start talking again.
They're just
The
assholes?
second part is also a lie. It's all lies.
But how is this a gimmick? Why would you go to this
Well,
bar?
I'm saying this is you right now.
it's drugs. Joe. It's drugs.
You could say it's not you, but you've started the game by giving me a fact. But
Yeah,
it's a
of course I
fact
did.
that
It's a
might not be
fake
a fact.
news. It's a fake news
And then
simulator.
I asked you if I asked
I
a
like how-
follow-up
I like
question,
how incensed
is any
Luke
of the
gets by-
information you're giving me accurate? And you say yes, except if I don't know it, I'll still say it. And so basically, I just don't. You're useless to me. So Johnny, I'm only talking to you in this game now.
Okay.
Wow, okay, fine.
Yeah, this is
I'm
a
honest.
fake news simulation because we get to fact check it at the end and find out. And be like, damn it, we fell for the fake news or not.
No, I'll
This is
be
good practice.
Fake honest
news.
with you. I'll be honest with you.
So what?
You can trust me.
Well, okay. So 1.3 trillion was it?
1.3 trillion
And what was the
all
number
right.
in 2000?
80 billion. And there's about 7.1 billion humans or
So,
7 point
Johnny,
whatever
I would.
Yeah. How many smartphones are
Well,
there?
that's what I
is
was
the big
going to say.
question.
I would think that is true, if only for the number of smartphones that exist now compared to 2000. I mean, no smartphones existed in 2000, as far as I know,
I don't think so, yeah.
and certainly even the flip phones that might have existed probably didn't have cameras on them yet.
Or people
I don't
weren't
know when
going
they
around
started
taking
doing
a ton
that.
of pictures still.
But even then, until
There were
you
digital
get to
cameras.
the iPhones that I know there were, but you have to go out of your way to own a digital camera.
And people weren't
Whereas
posting them to
today,
Instagram
it's just
because
so-
it didn't exist.
Well, yeah,
Right.
that's
You
true.
know, how many people do you know who have Instagram accounts who have posted 500 photos in the
Yeah,
past year?
And they wouldn't
right?
think to take pictures and post them and all that.
Right. If
if
it was
they
on a
didn't-
Kodak,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't really use the Instagram and stuff, so
That's true too. Some people don't.
As
would
evidenced
have
by
to-
you saying the Instagram.
On
No.
the internet.
yeah, the interwebness. But I don't use that stuff, so I don't know really what people's frequency of posting. I would just have to go on smartphone usage because there's a shitload in
Yeah.
Africa now and Asia too, right?
That's true, yeah.
Well,
So-
also even for people
If a-
in really challenging economic situations where they're barely getting by, they still have a smartphone.
Right?
Yeah,
Because an
exactly.
i5
So
is like garbage
let's
now.
say
Yeah.
there's a billion. Let's just say there's a billion smartphone users out there.
There's probably more than that.
Let's just say a billion.
Yeah, sure.
If they take a picture a day, that's what, 300 billion? So if they take 4 pictures a day, that would hit our number. So if there's like
And there's probably more than
if there's
a
100
billion.
if there's 100 million taking 10 plus pictures a day,
I don't know math.
So
does
Johnny,
that get
I
us
think
to our number?
the-
You know what I mean? Like,
the main gesture I'm getting from your math is that I think it's true. Like,
yeah.
because it doesn't take all that many people taking a few pictures a day to get to 1.3 trillion.
Luke's looking at me like, you bastard.
I'm looking at him like I'm playing a poker game right now. I'm just like waiting for him to break.
Well, let's think about
I'm
a
looking
wedding
over
with
my glasses. just
Yeah,
like,
let's
he's got the
let's think-
over-the-rim glasses. Look.
let's think of a wedding with about 200 people. You have maybe the photographer takes
Luke's
like
just
100
broke.
pictures. And, like,
I
but
wasn't
everybody at
expecting, like, Johnny to
everybody-
play like the, let's go to a wedding all of a sudden. Like,
let's go to a wedding. Well, I'm genieing up. I'm warming up. You know?
We fell into the genie
Johnny
hole.
broke out his bottle of Genie Lube and he's just rubbing it all over his body now.
Is my camera on? I thought I turned it off.
It's not on.
You meant metaphorically, right? Me too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Johnny's like, yeah, I don't buy a product on Amazon every month called Genie Lube and
Yeah, I
rub
don't-
myself and say, who's the best genie?
you don't get that monthly.
That was
You get it by
not what you were
get
just
that by
doing.
the drum once a year. You know. But anyway, but yeah,
Yeah.
I
think
have off
about a
today.
wedding.
I wonder what I'm going to do after this.
Luke, stay focused.
Focus.
So let's say there's 200 people at a wedding. Photographer takes a couple hundred pictures, but everybody at the wedding is going to have their phone out and take at least a dozen pictures, right?
That's true. Yeah.
So
I was at a wedding and I saw somebody on their phone take a video of like the 7-minute speech, the best man speech, and I'm thinking to myself, you're not gonna watch that ever, you idiot. Like
that's a true point.
no,
Probably.
my favorite is when people
Wasted.
take videos of fireworks.
yeah, it's like,
Like, it looks
stop
so
taking
terrible
the video
on
of the
your-
fireworks and just enjoy
The
them
video's not going to ever be as close
Put
as
the
good to
phone
the
away.
real fireworks.
and just watch it.
Yeah.
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 So you think this is?
I think it's I already said fake though, so I got to stick by it, but I'm starting to think it's real, but
But you can
I
change.
can't-
You can change your vote. That's
You're
fine.
allowed to
I
change,
know.
but I like your method. Of
Yeah,
just
I'm gonna
choosing.
stick with this method.
You like
I-
your
I just-
method of calling it.
Well,
before?
but Johnny, you know why I
No.
like when you have to stick with whatever you said beforehand. I know I can bounce questions off of you, and I'm gonna get like a
No,
more
but
honest
he
answer.
said it beforehand
Yeah.
before I said what the fact was.
Yeah,
What?
but
That's not a point of like.
No, I'm saying because he's committed to what he said. I don't think he's trying to convince me to vote his way necessarily.
But
you
why
know?
would he be convinced to make you vote his
I'm
way?
saying it takes away motivation from him, so it's like, well,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
he's saying he distrusts me as a genie less.
I just generally distrust
if he knows
you
where
in
I
general.
stand ultimately.
Well, he is a
yeah.
genie.
It's just smart.
We've already discussed that.
Yeah.
You know how you want to be.
Okay, I'm
mindful
gonna
of
say
genies.
true though.
You're gonna say true, and
Yeah.
Johnny, you stick with fake.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's probably like 10 trillion or something crazy, so I stick with
Well,
fake.
like, yeah, there are themes to these fact or fictions where it's something that either sounds ridiculous but is true,
Yeah.
or it sounds reasonable but it's false because it's even more
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it turns out it's like 5 trillion.
Yeah.
Which, as a matter of fact, it is actually 1.3 trillion.
It
It's
is.
a
Damn it.
fact. Yeah.
Damn it.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
How many smartphones are there in the world?
Oh,
Is that part of your?
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. But I would. assume-
1.3 trillion.
Yeah. And
Well-
that's a crazy number. So here's an interesting fact. Since in like 2011, it was only, I think it was 500 billion photos. So it's more than like doubled in the past, just 5-6 years or so. So it's almost like it's getting close to sort of like an exponential curve where it's just like every year it's way more photos.
So a trillion is 8,000 million, right?
Uh,
To go from to show the range from 80 million to a trillion.
Sure. I mean, math is numbers.
It's adding, it's orders of magnitude. Yeah.
Right. So a trillion is 1,000 billions, right? Or
Yeah, yeah.
or
yeah,
or
yeah,
10
right.
or
A
10,000
million
millions.
is 1,000, thousands.
You're not qualified to say thousands right now.
I know.
Yeah.
A million is a
A trillion is 1,000 billions.
thousands.
Yeah.
A billion is 1,000 millions. And
Right, yeah, it's just
you're adding 3
1,000 of
zeros,
whatever.
and 3 zeros is 1,000.
So
with a
80
one in front.
million.
Well, yeah, I mean, like
forget
those amount of digits after anything.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's just 3 zeros.
After anything other than 0, because then it's just still
It's
0.
still zeros,
It's just
yeah.
an inefficient way to write 0.
Yeah.
As I have $0 in my bank account. How much? Oh, 0.00000.00.
Wait, was that .000?
It could be
Also.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well done. I like the way
All
you
right.
guys
That
thought
was a
through
good one, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's, just how life has changed over the years. There's
So
a
not
lot more
only
photo culture.
has the internet and social media become such a thing now, our access to it is more personal than it ever has been. Like, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it's more like voyeuristic, too, where they take these photos of things where it's like, wouldn't have normally ever seen that, right? It's
Sure.
the same thing with, like, you see on Snapchat stuff.
Well,
Which isn't even counted
and that
into
comes
the
down
equation.
to the UFO thing. Remember, and we were talking about in the conspiracy episode. It's like, if they existed, or if there were good videos of that shit, everybody's carrying around a smartphone these days. We would be seeing videos all the time of that, you know?
You would think somebody would have gotten